got a TV show review. We're gonna do Luke Cage, Netflix, Marvel's Luke Cage. Just watched that whole season. I guess you could say I binge watched it, but it took me a few days. But anywho, 13 episodes. You know, we got through all the episodes, and overall, what you think of it? Man?
I liked it, but much like the first season, I've got notes.
Me personally, I liked it. I really liked it in sections. It was certain sections that was flat, and I think if you saw, and that's like the earlier episodes. The earlier episodes, I think, make people say, I'm kind of cool on this, and then it got better as the middle, and then the last section. So if it's 13, separate into like 4 pieces, like 4 episodes. Yeah. That last 4 was probably the best for me, and that middle 4 was good, and that first 4 was just so. So because of it being already had history of being a good show, kept me watching it. But after the first 4, I was kind of like, it wasn't living up to it. Because I'm gonna tell you like this, that first episode, man, I had some issues like with the acting, and I'm looking like, man, some of these characters are like, well, some of the characters like they feel like they there to get somebody a line, like to make somebody say something, you make somebody say something else, but they ain't for real earnestly in earnest acting. Yeah. You know, and I just kind of got mad. I'm looking like, man, the first season seemed to be a lot of the acting flow a lot better than it did in this season, but it was a lot of guest directors, and I think some people just didn't really know how to direct. Some of the shots was boring and stuff, and I was like, come on now.
Because that's the one thing that I found really interesting about like the first half of this series was with the first series, the first season rather. I was always amazed by the shots that they had. Yeah. You know, and in this one they came off like, man, that's not how I would have shot that. First of all, I rarely have that thought because I don't have that mentality. But it's like clearly, as someone who knows nothing about blocking or any of that, that's not how I would shoot that.
Yeah, or it's just when you show it, like I don't necessarily know how I would do it, but I know what keeps my interest. And a boring shot is just a boring shot where it's making me lose interest, you know. So continuation from the first season, Luke Cage. How did that first season end?
The first season ended with him going back to jail.
Okay.
And then in Defenders, he got out.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, you actually kind of got to watch Defenders a little bit just to kind of know where he at exactly. He got out of jail, and he's now back in Harlem trying to clean it up or whatever. Yeah. His main protagonist actually in charge. I'm sorry, main antagonist, Mariah Dillard.
Stokes. Mariah Stokes.
I set you up for that, man, by the way. Anyway, we're going to talk about...
Thank you.
We're going to talk about Bushmaster. But where the show left off, his main antagonist, Mariah Stokes, pretty much was in charge of Harlem. She got the Harlem's Paradise, the little club that Cottonmouth used to run and all that.
Still owns all the guns in town.
Right, and her partner, Shades. I'm going to get to that dude, man. Played by Theo Rossi. And I don't like that character at all. And I got so tired of him. But I'm going to get to him. So, how'd you think of Mike Coulter? How you think of his performance as Luke Cage?
I've really enjoyed him in that role, you know. But at times he can be a bit much.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much of that is just like...
A lot of that was writing though. Yeah. Because I think he's a good actor. So I never have no problems with the way he played. It's sometimes I have a problem with what he has to say. Yeah. But it's that his fault.
Right, you know? That's the writing. You know, because there's a lot of moments there where his lines don't fit the character in that moment.
Yeah.
Which is, you know, and I think part of that is like, I don't know if there was much of a unified vision in this season. Because the writing and the direction and the acting don't always feel in sync.
Yeah, and what they was, I'm tell you the best parts early in the first half, the first 4 episodes, the first block would be some of the drama moments.
Yeah.
Like the action, it's starting to be okay because it's starting to be the same thing. People shoot, he stand there and take the shots, and he walk up and bend their gun or pop him in the head or something.
Yeah.
They starting to repeat themselves a lot on the
I
action.
think that's one thing that they've been scrambling trying to get a handle of, because
you got a superpower man keep fighting people without superpowers.
Right.
And then you gotta wonder also why people keep shooting him. You know he bulletproof. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
But
the one guy
they addressed it. They addressed it in the first episode where a dude's like, "Hey, man, we gotta try."
We gotta know we tried.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And I guess your boss got like, "Hey, you didn't shoot. Your guns ain't even been fired." So,
Man, it was Luke Cage, man.
right. So, I mean, okay, that addressed that, but it's like it keep on happening.
Yeah.
And it's like, come on, man, you already know. Think of something else.
Like, don't pull the trigger until you got something that you think will work.
So, okay.
But maybe they just say we all look alike. I don't know.
Whatever. So what I was gonna say, what worked for me in the first half is the drama parts, because like I said, the action is starting to be kind of repetitive. So I'm like, okay, the action is like, okay, here we go again. So the drama parts was well acted by I can't remember his name, the guy who played Bobby Fish.
God, I can't remember his name.
So you know what I'm talking about though.
Yeah.
So Bobby Fish and Mike Coulter did good, and also Rosario Dawson.
Yeah.
And also the guy that played his father. His name was Reggie. I think his name Reggie Catley. And I just found out at the end of the episode that at the end of the show that he passed away. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I saw the last episode.
Yeah, I seen him in a lot of other stuff.
I was disappointed as hell.
Yeah, he got that deep baritone voice.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's a perfect father figure kind of character that once he talk to you, you gotta listen.
Yeah, you have no choice.
And when he take that tone with you, you know what I'm saying? You can't be.
There's even a moment where in the show where he actually tells Luke Cage to back off, like, get that bass out your voice. I'm still your daddy. And for a second there, I'm like, wait, does he have superpowers?
Yeah. The power of being a dad.
Like, boy, I'm still your daddy.
Yeah.
Like,
I actually like the dynamic of adding him to the mix, of bringing him in the story of dealing with actually what kind of set off the first season, where his what set off Diamondback. You know, where everybody know Diamondback was his half brother and they had the same father.
Yeah.
And all this. So now we can kind of see what's the aftermath of that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I will say this much: this season does not make Diamondback look any better.
Why you say that?
Well, because like even in comparison to everyone else involved in this, he has the pettiest reasons.
Would you call that petty though? I mean, the way he went about it was just messed up. But I mean, damn, this whole life he was basically. It's kind of like the story of a prince and the servant, but the servant was actually the son of the king too. But he never had the right to be the prince because his mom was a maid or something.
I mean, but like on that same level, Bushmaster is in that same kind of story, only he has a more legitimate claim to his throne.
Well, okay. So,
also, now I really kind of wish that he had come in while Diamondback was still in just so we could get his ass kicked out.
Let's get to the main story, because we just kind of get sidetracked. So,
my bad.
We know it's a new villain. It's Bushmaster, and then who is this guy? He's a guy coming back to Harlem. He's from Jamaica. He's Jamaican, but he's from Harlem originally or something.
Yeah.
And they explained that he got like a family feud with the Stokes.
Yeah.
And he's coming back, right? And this is the thing. The guy who played him, his name is Mustafa
Shakir.
Yeah, okay. Mustafa Shakir. Dude got a lot of charisma, man.
Yeah, dude.
And I found myself.
This could have easily become his show.
Yeah. I found myself liking him a lot more than I liked Luke Cage, because I'm looking like, okay, Luke Cage sometimes get boring.
Yeah.
This dude is kind of, I want to see what he about to do next kind of deal. You know what I'm saying?
He's just so clean.
Yeah.
Like, he's hard not to like. I mean, there's a few times where you forget that Luke is supposed to be the good guy. I'm not even gonna lie.
I mean, I know he ain't the good guy, but sometimes I can feel myself being sympathetic with him.
He's got it. I think this is one of the things that really defines a good, not even a villain, an anti-hero.
Yeah.
He has he has a great story.
Yeah, they gave him a backstory. I mean, is this coming right after the Killmonger?
Well, yeah.
You right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, right after the Killmonger incident, where it's like, I mean, the Killmonger story is kind of some similarities there.
Yeah.
A lot of similarities there.
Yeah. A lot of similarities. But and I guess that there is kind of, folks are finally ready to start hearing those kinds of stories.
Yeah.
Well,
the
way they present the story is kind of unique too.
They starting to they flesh out the villains a lot more now, and that's that gave this a series of points. But where it lose points is your main character you care less about. More you like the villain. You know what I'm saying? Like Bushmaster was more interested than Luke Cage, which is your title character.
Because one of the missteps I'd say this season took was Luke was the third wheel here.
I know.
It was Bushmaster and Black Mariah.
Yeah, that's true. And he just kind of became a character in they story.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which is not where you want the title character to be.
Yeah, that's usually not how you use a title character.
So
unless your name is Naruto.
Anyway, so where I was saying it was a lot of good moments with the acting in the first half that I liked. And then so when the Bushmaster first introduced himself to Luke. Now that was actually on the trailer, but damn. When everybody was like, damn, he knocked your ass clean the fuck out. You might as well have seen Chris Tucker come up to, you got knocked the fuck out.
But man, it wasn't much different having D-Dub do it.
Yeah, I know.
But and we'll talk about that character, man. But I love the way that they use it as kind of that's the initial meeting point between Luke and Bushmaster.
Yeah, it was like a sneak attack, but I mean, it's a good way to let you know who he is.
It's like, hey, so I heard you bulletproof. You fist-proof, my nigga? He got that one good right in, and then it was a spinning back heel kick, whatever the hell you want to call that.
No, it was a flash kick.
Yeah.
He hit him with an uppercut to get him a little dizzy. I think he did something low to topple him over to get him to bend a little bit. And then he popped up with a flash kick on that ass. And that was it.
Homo, look, I will say this. Homo is fast.
Yeah. I think now we talked about this, I'm not sure if he used capoeira, but it looks like a style similar to that, where it's a lot of acrobatics in the way he fight. And I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of people know this, I don't know. I do know about martial arts, and the martial arts of capoeira. That's in Brazil. I don't know if they do that in Jamaica, but it looked like that's what he was doing when he was fighting.
Because you get to see him training up for that fight.
Yeah,
and when he's training for it, it definitely looks like he's training in capoeira.
Yeah, and I mean, he didn't do the jingle, but I did see a lot of capoeira moves. A lot of people play Tekken. Eddie Gordo, if you know who that is. Anyway,
if you don't, go look him up.
Yeah. Only the Strong is a movie. Go ahead.
But and I think one of the things that I really like about Bushmaster, and again, in opposition to Luke Cage, is everything he does is planned out.
Right. Exactly. He didn't just come like a crazy villain. He slowly learned his enemy, knew what he had to do, and then made his moves.
Even moving on. Even moving on. Look, he's like, all right, who's in charge over here? Okay, what about this dude Luke Cage? Oh, so he's that dude around here. I need to be that dude around here.
Right. Exactly. So, no, that was all good, man. I like the how they handled the villain in this. Now I'm gonna talk about some of the other characters. Now I said I'm talk about Shades, Theo Rossi character. Now I really got tired of this dude because he fucking tried to talk like a snake, right?
And move.
He come in whispering in your ear just to tell you something.
It's like every aspect.
He keep pausing in between what he says just to let you think about it. It's like, man, shut up, man.
Everything about that character is so snake-like. Like even the way he comes up on people is like,
right.
Now, what did you think was going to happen? Yeah. Okay, if you could just stand right here.
Can you just say what the fuck you gotta say without trying to whisper in my ear like a snake? Like, stop it, man. You overdoing it, man.
Yeah. Also, I'm not gonna lie. I know this is Shades, but if I had to see this dude take off or put on a pair of shades one more time,
they would have better off by saying, if they said maybe he had a problem with his eyes and he need to wear shades or something. I'm cool with that.
Give him sensitivity.
Nope, he just liked to wear shades. Yeah. He gave a little stupid story why he wore shades.
He stole some bunk ass Ray-Bans back in the day.
Okay,
that's why they call me Shades.
You moron. He wore the darkest sunglasses at nighttime. Wow, okay. You probably can't see out that shit if they trying to look cool.
Cause I was thinking about that like at one point where he put his shades back on at night.
I was saying he driving at night and he got his shades on. Dummy, you ain't gonna be able to see nothing.
Like I'm waiting for them to say like, oh no, it's just his sensitivity to light is so severe.
Right.
He's gotta have blackouts.
Right, and I know people do have that where they have to wear sunglasses even indoors or whatever. But no, this dude just wore them just because. Like, anywho,
it's my gimmick, man.
And I didn't care for him, and I didn't care for his relationship with Alfred Whitaker character Mariah. Their whole dynamic was so silly. We're gonna talk about her in a minute.
Because like I'm not saying that a coupling like theirs is wrong. Like the age gap isn't what bothers me there. Their energies together are creepy.
It's stupid. It's just when they get, it's just almost okay. I felt like he was working her for a reason, and she was just keeping around, just have some young dick. Okay, so she was just keeping a young man around,
keeping a stable open.
Right, but they kept on coming back to, yeah, this ain't you, woman. You should be this, and you should be that. Oh, and I love you. Let's kiss.
Like,
fuck is this shit?
That, but like even their tandem back and forth emotional manipulations of each other.
It's stupid. It's like, that whole writing, the whole handle of them, I did not like.
It was like at one point she's trying to save him from being a gangster. Now he's trying to save her from. Then he's trying to save her from not being a gangster. Now he's trying to save her from.
I know. And okay, so move on to Mariah herself. I liked her. She was actually funny though. She was kind of cartoonish.
I think one of the things that really worked in her favor on this is like, no. So you have the character, the person she pretends to be the councilwoman.
Yeah.
And then you have Black Mariah.
I know, but
and Black Mariah is hilarious.
Like she lose her temper and her, and her eyes so big, and she say the funniest shit, and and it's just like I don't know who she. I don't know if this is the actress
or
mannerism,
she's this off of somebody,
or is she just because sometimes she talks so crazy, and then sometimes she can really get real sinister with it. So it's like I don't really know, but she do seem like somebody that's actually a crazy motherfucker. So if that's what she going for, she
whatever,
got me.
nigga. Like lines like that kind of delivery, like, and sometimes like she just when she's like at her realest and just cuts through everything, it's like, nah, this bitch got kerosene in my head. Let me hold something.
Yeah.
It's like, oh damn.
No, but then 1 minute she complained about something. 1 minute she act like a little child, and the next minute she act ruthless. And it's like I don't know exactly.
And then she'll go from that to acting scared and broken.
Yeah. No.
First of all, Alfred Woodard's range is insane.
Yeah, she's a great actress, and she show it.
But like I don't know where when this character is coming or going.
So it's just scene with her daughter where she talking to her, and it was like That was a real powerful moment. And
Yeah.
she actually, gave you full-on drama. That's like I said, those are the best parts of these movies. That show how these actors are good actors, no matter if they get silly material or whatever, they bring all of it out. So the actors sometimes saving the writing, where I ain't saying the writing is all bad, but some of it's bad writing, and because of the great acting, it's saving that material, So we got Misty Knight. Talk about her real quick.
Right.
What you think of her arm dynamic? So we know everybody knew Misty Knight in the comics had a mechanical arm, and she was I guess she ended up being a superhero, right? Or she ended up being some kind of hero.
Definitely a larger than life character, but
Okay.
never actually like an actual costume superhero. So
Okay.
I know.
But she had played a big part in Luke Cage comics as
And
somebody that,
and in the whole Civil War deal. Later
okay, but so they gave her the robotic arm or whatever. I'm sorry, y'all. It was clearly a glove.
Not only that, but there were moments where they could have taken the time to really make this thing look like a prosthetic arm. And when she first got it, it looked like a prosthetic arm.
Yeah, and the thing is, you had time. But go ahead, finish what you about to say.
And then every other time you see it after that, it's clearly some other version of that glove that she's wearing to fit the outfit.
Yeah, and I'm looking like, okay, yeah. 1 minute you telling her, oh, it's gonna work with your nerves and all this, and she couldn't really hold a cup, right? Same episode, she fucking down there playing piano with the goddamn hand. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come on, y'all, consistency.
Yeah. Like, and she, because I understand that on some point they wanted to get past that so she could just be part of the show, but like.
They could have simple as had her just do everything with her good hand and just had the other hand like I can't really.
No,
they had her doing specific things with her fingers that you shouldn't be able to do yet.
Yeah,
like
it was for 5 minutes, and then suddenly.
Yeah, she doing sign language and shit.
Like it took no time at all, and that bugs me, man. Like if you're going to play this up, there should be a good bit of this show where it's like, no, I'm still writing with my left hand because I can't.
Yeah. So okay, we can wrap this up. So those are a lot of the characters, man, and then getting closer to the end, dude. It was. What did you think about that last half? Because I kind of separate these into blocks.
Yeah.
So your last block,
the last
to me,
story arc there.
right? To me, was kind of it was following a bigger narrative, but it was kind of different from the other two.
Yeah.
So how'd you feel about that?
That last one, man. Like it's hard to understand how this show ended the way it did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm not even necessarily against how it ended.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't get it.
Well, I mean,
like I get some of the moves being made, especially on Mariah's end. Once she realized what had happened, she had to get her final digs in.
Mm-hmm.
But for everyone else, it's like everything you've learned over the course of this season should tell you not to make the decision you're about to make.
Yeah, but I was one. Okay, I don't want to. I'm about to say something, but I don't want to give away exactly what happened in. But okay, the way it ended for me, I'm looking like I raised the eyebrow, right, and then I stopped and thought, I am tired of the same shit. I'm cool with them challenging the status quo. I'm cool with them saying, let's do something different with this. Yeah. Let's take this to a whole nother direction. But it didn't feel like this is your guy. This is the guy that you want to root for.
I don't know how you can bring these characters back.
Yeah, I know. Right. Where you taking this, where you took your main guy, it's hard to say, can you come back from this? Maybe they should just stop it here.
I feel like at this point, this would almost necessitate turning him into a less altruistic hero. Like, no, I ain't gonna be that guy, but if I'm gonna be helping y'all, I'ma need mine.
Yeah, I know. It's like you ain't exactly that you ain't really what
you ain't righteous no more.
Yeah. So I mean, you gotta say, are you down with that or are you not down with that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm getting to a point where I think I'm down with that because you know why? First, I was like, I don't know, but when I had time to think about it, I said, you know what? I'm down with that because one, we don't even know if it's going to be another season, but two, why not? Because you always got the same old stuff, the same old. You got a villain, you punch him out at the end, and you live. I guess you go off happily ever after or whatever. That's bullshit. You know, everybody else got to still survive. How are you going to do it? They gave you a solution.
Yeah. and of course, if it ends like this, it's like, well, yeah, who's going to stop it?
Yeah. That kind of make you feel like, okay, you're no longer who you was, though. You can't be who you was. This changes everything.
This you can't go back. There's you can change from here on, but you can't be that guy anymore.
Yeah. So it was a pretty good series, man. It was a little uneven because it was good stuff and it was stuff I didn't care for. So I'm gonna give it my rating. Shoot. I'm really between the all right and a dope. I'm gonna give it a high all right. That's best I could do because it wasn't straight dope. The first season was pretty dope, but a lot of the stuff as far as action was done already. I did like the Bushmasters, but it wasn't enough to make the whole series so good that I wanted to, take it up a level. Far as the main character, he had his issues, and I did, like I just stated, I like how it ended, but it just kept it at a good high. All right, so that's the best I could do. I give this series a high. All right.
I think one of the things that gives me the most trouble rating this series is its lack of consistency. And I will say part of that comes from the fact that you don't have one director directing the bulk of these episodes, But I think for me, that ending really does take it down from, from being dope to being all right.
Mm-hmm. So you didn't care for the ending?
I liked it, but not in this show.
Okay.
Because I do want to see this universe continue, but it's hard to continue this universe with you making this kind of a shift to one of its cornerstones.
Yeah, I feel you, man.
And so I gotta give it a high all right. When I watched the last episode, I had to go and work after that, and the whole time in my head, and for a little while out loud, I was just ranting about how you gonna take a character like that and make him do this when that's not how that character is supposed to be presented. And I had to say, bruh, it's a TV show.
All right, man, we're gonna move on. We're out of time. We got to do. So, all right, that's our review for Luke Cage season 2. All right, moving right along. We got some trailers to jump in.